How's everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Not unmuted either. Wrong screen, and we're not unmuted, but here we go. We're ready. We're rocked and loaded. How's everyone doing? Not me. I just got here. Who deleted my handshake? I didn't see one. You didn't message. I don't see. Usually I have two platforms, and one of them would show me before the other one, and neither of them I see a message before anybody. The first message was John Von Sewers today. So TH, you're actually second. You're late, my friend. You're late. But welcome, boys. Welcome. The person who's actually late is me. I'm late. Yeah, obviously, like I mentioned yesterday, I had a training class today to kind of see how my manager goes through his night homework session where he's charting for stocks the next day and plays the next day and so on. So Palantir, I need to recheck the gamma walls on option change tomorrow pre-market. No short bias. I don't want to box myself. And okay, gotcha. I see what you're going. We're gonna wait till Palantir. Okay, I like that. A nice little patience over there. But a lot of people right now on Twitter are really interested on shorting Palantir, and that's why you can see how I'm looking at the gamma exposure right now in Palantir. And if you actually take a look at it, Palantir 110 had a big call wall, and with Palantir breaking 110 today going into the close. That was an insane run up. Look at the volume burst through 110 and the stock just running into 112 into the end of the day, or a little bit higher in the after hours over here. So you got that insane burst through. Wasn't even 110 where that burst actually happened. That burst of volume started coming in at the 108 high at daybreak into that 110 area, and that 110 really gave you that big volume burst through the day and a bigger move to the north side. This is important because as a big gamma wall starts to break on the market, each I'm forgetting the actual the terminology to use for this, but every time the stock goes higher, they're gonna have to use their Greeks, their gamma, delta, all the other Greeks over there. I think it is gamma, and they're gonna have to buy some shares. So if they wrote 110 calls, they're expecting 110 to not come into play, and since 110 came into play, if they don't have shares already of the stock, they're gonna have to go out there and buy some shares so they can be delta neutral. There you go. They need to be delta neutral, and especially with Friday expiry coming into play tomorrow, this just makes things a lot more crazier for Palantir. So guess what? The higher Palantir goes tomorrow, the bigger the move we're expecting out of the stock in the north side, and potentially setting up for some sort of gamma squeeze tomorrow for the long side, or potentially setting up for some sort of a mean reversion to the short side. So right now you're seeing a lot of option gameplay coming into Palantir. This was a playbook that previously was applied to on Tesla, on MicroStrategy. It was actually abused on MicroStrategy to the point where the stock's close to $500. I'm not saying this is what's happening with Palantir to the same extent, because this was also coupled with Bitcoin going higher, right? So Bitcoin going higher kind of added to the little bit of a juice to MicroStrategy going higher also. But Palantir, you can see how it has an eerily similar pattern to it playing out over here, coming into play, where the stock could now, blast off tomorrow. We could see 120, 125 coming into play. 120 volume right now for the options is very little, but the tomorrow pre-market, it'll be interesting to see how the volume at 120 looks. And if 120 options writers are writing 120, they are potentially expecting the stock to not go there, so that option expires worthless, and anyone who buys that option will be broke at the end of the day and lose out on that premium. That's how these guys collect on that premium, and then them not being able to do that will obviously be trouble for them. So if the stock goes into 120 and higher than 120, they're gonna have to go to the market and buy the shares themselves, and that's exactly what these options writers at 110 are having to deal with all the way into the after hours, making sure they are overall neutral against their own options call. So it's going to be an interesting name tomorrow on this one. Obviously, a recent earnings reporter, day 1, day 2, and then today was day 3. Blast off on day 3 on Palantir today. It was just nuts. A trade that we talked about last night on stream, which was Tesla short. If you were watching the stream last night, Tesla short through 370 or 373 in general. That was a monster opportunity. You got a 10-point opportunity all the way to 363 to the downside, and then you even had a good flip long back into the north side, right back into high a day, where we're not high a day, but right back into days open around that 373 area on Tesla. ARM, this was also a play that I talked about last night. Look for the after hour low to hold on ARM, and it did exactly so. Held the after hour low and blasted off right back to yesterday's VWAP. The report wasn't negative, so I wasn't expecting ARM to go down. QCOM, another one. This one we were actually looking for a bullish move too, but just a nothing burger move, I guess, just sideways for the most part. Let's see how QCOM sets up for the next few days. Tomorrow, however, I have a list of stocks that I'm interested in, and those will be with the stocks that moved the most today. So stocks like Palantir, Roblox, SWKS, I don't think SWKS actually moved that much. Yeah, kind of just meh, boring. Potentially we'll keep an eye on it still tomorrow, but for the most part, all of my attention is most likely going to Palantir tomorrow off the open. A lot of people are talking about that name for a mean reversion setup. So after stream today, which most likely is going to be a short stream, to be honest, because I didn't trade a lot today, so I don't really have trades to show you guys. I made profits today, yes, but I didn't trade a lot, so I didn't even save my charts, so I can't show you any charts, sadly. But overall, positive day, nice little positive streak going on into the month right now. Looking forward to keep that positive streak going and take advantage of some of these opportunities that the market is absolutely putting in front of us on a silver platter. So let's start with I actually want to go take a quick look at some of these other names such as Yum Brands, because some of these stocks reported. How did they move? Wow, is that a new all-time high? Wow, okay. New all-time high. Let's just go back to the monthly chart real quick and then throw in that line right there and then go to, oh, that's beautiful. Isn't that wonderful? Basically holds the previous all-time high on a nice little run up to the north side after the earnings report. Looks like they actually missed on the report, but still, China #1, baby. I think this is, or no, this is the American version, and then they have a Chinese version for Yum Brands too. I think that's YUMC, YUMC. Yeah, Yum China Holdings, both of them making a blast off to the north side. Yum Brands, YUMC. This is an all-time high, new all-time high above 143. How much does stock have volume? This volume is not bad either. 30-day volume 1 million. Today's volume 5.5 million. That's not bad for a new all-time high test. So on any pullback on Yum Brands, as long as we're holding above 140, earnings VWAP is at 141. I think watching this for a day two is not a bad idea at all. You know what? I want to potentially do something that you know, I'm seeing a bunch of people in a Discord server do, which is separate their watch list by let me try this real quick. Nah, fuck it, I don't need to. Yum Brands, let's just color this one in a different color, orange. I'll be interested to see if the stock can find support above thing. Day two play, if stock can find buyers into EVWAP or 140 area, can look long. Okay, next stock I want to see if it did anything interesting is Philip Morris, another stock that reported today. Oh, blasted off to the north side. Is that a new all-time high? And that is a new all-time high. Okay, new all-time high, new monthly high. I mean, that is insane. That's a beautiful breakout of the previous all-time high area, just consolidating right before it, blasting off. Looks like it tried to go lower first, and then it just rejected that sell-off and, you know, reclaimed the earnings VWAP and got right back up to the north side. So you can see that you know, you can expect that same 140 area again. Okay, I mean, who am I to fight? We have two stocks that are creating a new all-time high into the 140 area, so I just have to copy paste my notes. Not that hard for me. I'll just copy pasta my notes. Earnings VWAP is at 143.45. Let's just say 140 143.50 EVWAP, and then previous all-time high is at 130. So if the stock is clearly holding below 140, there's just clearly no shorts anymore, no longs anymore. So as long as it can hold above 140 on both of these names, I'm interested on a potential long. Peloton, never really interested in trading Peloton, and I think that's not going to change today. So I'm not really interested in trading Peloton, not really interested in trading Ford, but both of them are on the watch list. Well, Ford was on my watch list yesterday, Peloton on my watch list today. Not sure I want to. I'll leave it in there, but I don't want to waste any time on this garbage name. So I'm just going to go to the next name on the watch list here. Eli Lilly. Nice little report from Eli Lilly, but it is an expensive name. So, oops, I thought you skipped streaming. I was waiting F5. I'm guessing 5 your time because I don't stream F5. But no, I mentioned yesterday that I was going to be busy today, Barkit. It's nice to catch you on stream, my friend. Eli Lilly. A pretty expensive name if you ask me, so I'm not too keen on looking for a day 2 play on this one, especially for the setup that I play. I need stocks that have a lot of momentum, a lot of volume. They're going in a certain direction and then completely maybe going in the other direction right away. Change in characteristics coming into play. So the setup that I'm trying to play is the S&B Capital 9 EMA VWAP strategy, where the 9 EMA crosses VWAP and then you go long or you go short. So for that I need, you know, a lot more volume, a lot more liquidity, momentum coming into play. Today that stock had that. Tomorrow as a day 2, I don't think it will have you know, that momentum I'm looking for. Let me just quickly show you over here. For example, if you go to Eli Lilly on the 2-minute chart, you should see an entry trigger once. There you go. You should see an entry trigger for the long. It says short also because, you know, it does go below the 9 EMA right there. But right there you can see how, I guess if you even go on the 5-minute, you can only see the long entry, because on the 5-minute you see how the stock crosses long entry. If you're entering somewhere here, your stop is around $15. So 15 divided by 3, it's actually almost $16. So 16 divided by 3 is about $5.3. So your stop is somewhere here. Let's say your stop is right there, which is what? That's about 857. So for risking 857, you got to get out around 888. So pretty good risk to reward if you ask me. Sadly, not the true risk to reward potential that the setup usually says it can give you, which is actually it does give you that. It gives you one measured move target, right? So you do get a three risk to reward opportunity. You're risking 1/3 of the range, and then you get a whole range exit right there, but the stock gives you way more than that. So big risk to reward winner over there on Eli Lilly if you were looking for the long using the 9 EMA VWAP strategy. But tomorrow I'm not sure that's the one you want to be trying to, you know, apply on this name. So I'm just going to be a little careful keeping an eye on this one tomorrow. It's also very expensive of a name for me to even care about. Momo, Mile High Momo, good to see you again, my friend. Hey, if you get a chance, could you look at RR and maybe IVVD or even LTRY? Thank you, appreciate everything. I will take a look at those. I think I remember taking a look at LTRY recently and IVVD. They are on my watch list. Well, they're not, that's a lie, but they were on my watch list yesterday. I'll throw them on right now. And then we'll take a look at RR right now for you. RR is robotics. Ooh, okay, nice little pop on the robotics stock. Anything interesting on this? Announced that grand opening of Cloudfee and T in Las Vegas. Is this like a robotic company that is serving tea through robots in LA, like a novelty thing that, you know, like Japanese sushi restaurants do or something? If so, that could be part of the reason why the stock absolutely blasted off today. What were the stats on this one? 20% up on this position. Might need to quickly go to Benzinga to see why RR even did something like this. RR robotic announced grand opening. What is that grand opening of what? What do you do? Short interest. Ooh, they got a high short interest. We might have to go check out over here. You can see how I was already taking a look at IVVD because this is their stats. RR robotics company. 19% short float, 319 million market cap. and you got a 45 million short float, share float, sorry, total float of 45 million with the 53 million outstanding. That's crazy. Most of their floats already in the market. That's pretty crazy. I'm not really one to give you evaluations and the is it fundamental versus technicals, whatever, the fundamental aspect of it, but I'm not sure what the company does. But if you look at it on a pure technical aspect, clearly, you know, robotic sector still in play. If you take a look at the war that China and USA is having between AI and robotics, China seems to be ahead in both of these fields. They seem to be ahead in robotics, they seem to be ahead in AI also. And you know, USA really needs to catch up on both of those fields. So robotics has been being ramped up in terms of investments, in terms of computational power, GPU, and all the money being dumped into it. So you could expect a move right back into these resistance areas where the stock has previously played into, $3.77, $4 area. Once we get above it, then you got some you know, room into 520, and then once we get above it, then you start having some real opportunities like IonQ has had. If you missed out on the quantum run up, you know, maybe you don't want to miss out on the robotic run up. The quantum is still what 30 years out, 15 years out, according to multiple CEOs. Mark Zuckerberg, Jensen Huang, all of them have said quantum is still quite a bit of a way out. Robotics might not be that much far out for you guys. You might end up seeing, what the heck, robotics, you might end up seeing a robot, you know, serving you food, doing your dishes, doing your laundry very soon. So probably worth keeping an eye on the sector. I actually might have the stock already in my super watch list. Do I? Robotics, RR, there you go. I already have it in my super watch list. Looks like some other robotic stocks make a little pop today too. It was mainly ARBE and RR. But yeah, doing things like this is also worth, you know, for you. You might want to create a super watch list with themes that are going around in the market. For example, the space theme, ASTS, in a nice little rip at the moment to the upside of its channel range. If you were able to draw a channel here, you can see how in the regression channel the stock is kind of popping into the resistance pockets, but the space theme still intact, if you ask me. Airlines are having a little bit of a green day today, not bad. Okay, good to see airlines are still doing well. AAL still waiting for you to break down below that low side over there, but looks like it doesn't want to do that. Energy names slowing down a little bit. Tariff names are bopping back up. So ooh, EWW looks like a nice breakout opportunity on EWW above 51, but this is an ETF. You know, you don't really play breakouts on ETFs unless there's a news. Unless the news comes out, then you could play breakout on that ETF. But going back into my daily watch list and going back into yes, my daily watch list. Let's go right into the watch list where earnings are, because that's where I left off. So ACB, big day 2 move on it. Was not expecting a day 2 move that insane on this name, but okay. Let's see how much more active can this stock get. Tomorrow CGC reports earnings. Where are they now? CGC potentially not bad. I mean, not doing what ACB is doing at the moment, but potentially could catch up along with ACB and might even give ACB a little bit more boost into the north side where we can, you know, look for some real mean reversion. If ACB pops here tomorrow at 765, this one is going to be absolutely insane. Like you are going to get a really good short opportunity on this one. I like how you got your stocks broken down into sectors like that. Yeah, I mean, it just helps you really quickly take a look at, you know, what sector is moving, which sector has similar theme names like AI healthcare, because this sector has been going a little crazy recently. Shout out to Pelosi never gets stocks wrong. TEM making a little bit of a move to the north side, so always worth making sectored watch lists and making sure that you're watching these sectored watch lists for you. Geez, remember that tape? We should have been able to spot that next time. Don't really understand the Greeks. Just need to know where these big call walls are, because if the stock gets higher than those walls, they have to go buy shares to hedge and be delta neutral. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that, and I'll talk to him later. I'm on live, dude. I'm on live. All right, so not TEM, sorry, where were we? ACB, big move. I'm not saying that it's going here tomorrow, but if it does, that just makes things way more interesting for us. So big day one today, or so yesterday, big day two today with a lighter volume, much lighter volume. If you ask me, fairly bullish day two also, because look how a monster of a move that was. A breakout through yesterday's high, big move, and basically held above VWAP. If this gets blasted off tomorrow into 765, into $8, I mean, you're telling me that you're going to be looking long on a breakout above 8? I don't think so. I don't think you're looking long on a breakout above 8. That would be 150% in 3 days. Like, it's just insane if we do that. So I'll for sure be watching this name for some fun activity if we do get up to the north side. I'll give it a special color also. Give it a special color, orange. If stock pops into 8 or higher, love the mean reversion short, which is exactly what we're kind of looking for. Palantir 8, 9, 935. All right. SWKS Skyworks. So someone mentioned, I think it was Valhalla Trader, one of my most recent mentors. Shout out to Valhalla Trader. He's been helping me out a lot recently. That dude's very nice. SWKS, we've been, getting slammed to the downside from the earnings report, apparently losing some deal with Apple. So ideally I was looking for a pop into 70 to short this stock, but it did not do that. I did tell you, however, that this could also bounce from pre-market lows, or sorry, after hour lows. It did go a little bit lower in pre-market, but bounced from the after hour low, opened around the after hour low, and then bounced from it. So that setup actually played out exactly as imagined, and the stock ended up popping back to the high side. I still think tomorrow, if we go into $70, I'm not expecting the stock to get above 70. This is a major change in catalysts for stock. It's decreasing in year-over-year revenue. So if it does pop into 70 where the monthly VWAP is, well, that's like, it doesn't really have that much importance because the month just kind of started. How many days are we into the month right now? Basically just this week into the month. So that monthly VWAP, you can just call it the weekly VWAP. So the weekly VWAP is around $70. I'm not expecting the stock to be able to find buying above 70. Any pop into 70, I'm looking to see wrong box, how I could look to take advantage on that rejects of that area. So if stock is unable to get above 70, look short. If holding above 70, no shorts anymore. Maybe can look long, but small size. Okay, so 70 is my only level that I really care to play with. Other than 70, I don't care to do anything with that stock at all. Roblox reported 30% growth year to year. What does the market do? Sells the stock down 30%. Yep, makes sense. Makes sense. So down $21 right off that report. Sorry, let me actually look at from yesterday's close. So down 33%, down $25 from yesterday's close off that insane earnings reaction where the stock is actually growing year to year. Yeah, they missed revenue slightly, 0.82%, but they beat EPS by 26%. I don't know why I'm having a bullish tone over here for Roblox, because I personally don't like the game Roblox at all. I think it's a dog water game, but hey, That's my gripes with Roblox. All I care about is how can I make money on this stock. So that was an insane dip buy opportunity if you were looking for it. Amazing capitulatory long in pre-market itself. A buddy of mine, maybe not, I shouldn't say a buddy of mine, but somebody that I look up to on Twitter, Valkyrie Trades, he got a monster long off of this bottom over here and basically got out into these areas after the open. So monster long on Roblox, and that's why sitting in the seat pays you, right? So I wasn't in my seat today because I was a little baby. I was having a major headache today in the morning for some reason, and I just said I'm gonna sleep in, I'm not gonna go. Sometimes, you know, that saves you money. When you try to trade with a headache, you don't end up making money. So good thing that I didn't go in early today and didn't trade with a headache, and then you know, save myself from some losses. Potentially would have lost in some trades, but then also kept myself away from some really good trades like ARM, Tesla, Roblox. Sadly, that is the con of that trade that I decided to do, which was sleep in. Right, I decided to sleep in, and that was my trade. Roblox monster move, bounce back up at least. However, you know, this is a big question as to why did somebody, maybe it's a fat finger. Imagine someone fat fingered a big order size to the downside. That would be insane. But yeah, I'm not sure. 30% growth year over year, but 30% sell off. Not sure if that was accurate reaction, and clearly the market said that wasn't an accurate reaction, an overreaction, and that's why buyers coming in and stepping right back up, buying up this position at 50 and watching it go up to $70 in the very same day. Yeah, you're very happy if you did that. You're very happy if you did that. As for tomorrow, you know, this is a very big candle, so I'm not expecting the stock to break out above today's high and then go right back up, or go back into today's low and then break below today's low. Look for an inside day. Very easily the stock is having an inside day and some sort of a new price discovery. Last week's low is around $64, and that's where today's VWAP is, and that's where the earnings VWAP is also. So that's going to be an interesting level to keep an eye out. 64 EVWAP plus last week low. Yeah, last week low. So that'll be a good inflection level to keep an eye on in case Roblox does dip into that area and hold this level. If it does, then you could have a good range in this area to play with. Hello, a good range in this area to play with. That's like a $3-4 range. So the stock's ATR is about $3 with today's volume. Yeah, $3 ATR indeed. So you get to play in that range pretty easily. If it does break out and go back into that $71, then hey, today's report reaction was absolutely garbage, right? Absolutely garbage. Whoever sold is kicking rocks and beating himself up for doing that. Palantir, let's go to the number one play on the report tomorrow. Probably the highest priority because of how everyone's talking about it on Twitter, and also because of a couple research points that I just pulled up for myself, and I'll show you that, which is right here. I think I was talking about this already, right? So Palantir, gamma wall 110, big gamma wall that breaks, we got 115, and then a little bit smaller gamma wall at 120. If you actually pull down over here, you can see how the call open interest by strike 120 is actually almost as big as 110, or about the same height as 110. So you got options setting up for this Friday, which is tomorrow. Where's my expiration date? Yeah, okay, so these are for Feb 6th tomorrow through Feb 6th. The weekly and monthly, gotcha. And it's going to be very interesting to see how the stock plays out as it breaks those areas. If it breaks those areas, we can, you know, expect some real gamma squeeze coming into play, like GME, AMC type days, or when Tesla started squeezing to the upside like this, or when MicroStrategy started squeezing to the upside like this. Look at this pattern over here. This was like a 3-day hold on MicroStrategy before it started doing this. Palantir is very similar in that way, right? So 1 day pattern really doesn't even need 2 days, and it's going. It's going. We're doing it. We're doing it. Oh, Alex Carp, you gotta love him. You gotta love him. So lots of chatter about the shorts. I'm gonna say I don't know, right? I don't want to have a bias. I'm gonna say I don't know what I want to do with this name. I'm gonna let the price action dictate what I should do with it. If it goes much higher as people are expecting it to tomorrow, then yeah, we got some fun action for the mean reversion. But if it dips into, let's say, today's VWAP and holds around today's VWAP where most of the buying was taking place, then I'm okay with looking for a long off that area too. Right now, I'm not gonna put any levels at all on watch for Palantir, because I don't think those levels are gonna even matter by the time pre-market opens. So it'll be very interesting to see where Palantir goes today after hours. If anyone has Robinhood account, please let me know where Palantir is, because I don't have Robinhood in Canada. Wah, wah, wah. I guess I could use my IBKR account to see where Palantir is in the after hours account right now. I'm not a big fan of DJT, but I feel like it has some oomph again if it breaks above. You could say that, but I'll say, you know, a lot of the juice out of DJT has been taken out ever since the crypto coin came out, right? So I think a lot of people felt like betrayed by Trump after that crypto coin. So not sure exactly how. Codeine Garden? is that Cody? Is that how you say it? Your first name? That's sick. Codeine Garden. Hood says 112.59 on Palantir. Thank you, sir, or ma'am, or robot, whatever you identify with. I appreciate that. 112.59. Where are we right now on that stock? PLTR. Looks like not a lot of volume in the after hour market. It's the exact same price that we closed in the after hours. Lame. No volume. Nothing happening. For DJT, like you said, I mean, yeah, you could have a breakout back through. You could look at this as a false breakout, right? Imagine you shorted on this breakdown, and now you're watching the stock is actually holding above 30 on every single dip and not able to get below 30. You might look for an exit as the stock gets back through 33, because you'll probably be worried about a move back into 40, 45, 50, and just an absolute squeeze against you. So if that is a possibility for any shorts in this area, then you want to be ready for. You can see how the volume kind of picks up as the stock is going down too, but then as the stock kind of breaks, the volume just dies out, and we are able to find buyers in this area. That means anyone who's short is for sure scared, and their stops will be in this area, and once those stops trigger, you got some upside momentum for sure. So worth watching. I just don't think it's worthy for me tomorrow to watch. That's the only difference. QCOM, stuck in a boring range. I don't care until it really pushes up here, so I'll set some alerts on it and I'll wait for it. ARM is also very uninteresting. As a day two, you could look for potentially dips into today's low or continuing to hold the earnings anchored VWAP, but when today's range is that boring, I'm just not too interested to really look for a trade on that stock. Some SYM, this one dropped quite a bit, but then if you actually pull back, look, boring, right? Absolutely sleeper, resident sleeper. This stock actually got below that $27 area, which is not bad, but it just stayed in the pre-market range and the after hour range. So what am I gonna do with this? This is lame. Not worth my time at all. Uber actually had a monster breakout today. A monster breakout with good volume behind it, taking it right back to last month's high. And if you guys remember what I said yesterday, it's Uber. Who's really competing against Uber currently? At the moment, who's really competing with Uber? Nobody. You can say, yeah, Waymo, those cars crash every other day. You can say Lyft. Lyft literally came out on a conference call one day and said, we are okay with being number 2. When a company CEO himself comes out and says, we're okay with being number 2, I know for a fact they're not trying at all, and they don't care about beating Uber. So who's really competing with Uber? Nobody. And look how monster of a move Uber had to the long side today. So if Uber really breaks out above 70, is that not, you know, a great long opportunity for a day 3? So watch for what Uber does over here. You do have an after hour high around 71. So daily high, you got 70. But then you got the 71 area as potential trouble to keep an eye out too, where the stock could, you know, break 70, go to 71, trap the buyers from 70 to 71, and then slam down, get back below 70, go and end the day around today's VWAP, which is what? Where's today's VWAP? At 68. So watch out for something like this. I could see, hello. I could see this happening very easily where we do something like this. We do something like this, go higher, and then just dive and then do here. So that could be a good trap for people on that breakout to the upside. Unless there's a really good pattern for a breakout, I might be interested, but I need to see like a 15-minute, at least 15 minutes of holding above 70 for me to care about a good long setup. Need a good hold above 70 for me to think long. But I'm not looking short at all, because I'm not looking short at all on that name tomorrow. Unless it has like a failed break of 71, then into 71, I might look short. Besides that, I'm not looking short. Disney, I'm not looking to trade this one. NVO, I did say if it goes into the high end of the ranges and breaks out, I might be interested. So I can't flip-flop on my word, right? We got the last month's high at 90, and then you have this little high that I marked out at 89. So 89 to 90. Today's candle does tell me that there might not be juice to the upside. But if there is juice to the upside, I'll be interested. 88 to 89 is the, sorry, 89 to 90. 89 to 90 is the zone that the stock might have to really get above for me to be interested. That one gets a lower grade. Blue, lower grade. Orange, mid-tier grade. And then purple, the top of the top, the creme de la creme stock for the day tomorrow. Let's go to AMD. Not interested. I don't care. I just don't care to trade AMD. My personal biases will come into play and I'll take a loss on it. So I just don't care to trade AMD. Google. You can see how the support's messy, you know? The support range is really messy. I think if it breaks yesterday's low, it could have a move into $180, but the report wasn't bad. So I'm not really sure I want to fight the sellers in here on the breakdown below 188. But if there's a good setup and if the market's weak, I'll keep it, you know. If market is weak and presents a good setup, can look for 188 breakdown maybe, or a move into 180s. Where's the previous anchored VWAP for earnings? That's 184.50. Blue. You got a blue priority tomorrow. Snapchat. That's a great breakdown on Snapchat, dude. Oh my god, that's a great breakdown on Snapchat. 1035 is the low from today. That could be seen as a failed breakdown, technically. That could technically be seen as a failed breakdown. What was today's low again? 1035 to 1040. If stock weak under support area, love the short, don't care about the longs. Reason behind why I say I don't care about the long on this name is because how the stock reacted to its earnings report, right? It gapped up and then got slammed down. I don't care to fight that action. If I want to go long, there's 10 other million stocks that I could go look for on the stock market. Ooh, that if today PayPal broke down under that low, that would have been a monster 3-bar breakdown. But sadly, it did not break down today. We're actually creating a higher low, higher high at the moment. However, Palantir did close at the low end of the range. Most likely, we're going to see a test of the 77.50. Is it 77.50? 77.38 of the earnings day low. And if it does break down below it, you can see how I have already mapped out a couple interesting areas and pockets of zones that I might keep an eye on PayPal. But at the moment, not really too interested. Today was day 3 of earnings. There's no real day 4 play, you know. No one makes a playbook for a day 4. It doesn't exist. Day 1, day 2, day 3 for a day trader. If you're a swing trader, if you're an investor, it's a whole different thing. For a day trader, it stops at day 3. Spotify, same idea. It stops at day 3, but you know, slower name potentially could give you a slower setup much later in the day. If it's able to find some buying and break out above 631, you might not want to miss out on that long over there. So we'll see how Palantir sets up. Spotify sets up tomorrow if it does manage to make a move back into 630 area. So I have an alert set up over there. Didn't even get to the stocks that reported earnings today, so we'll save that for a quick second and quickly go to the stocks that our friends Momo wanted us to take a look at. LTRY had some pretty high R wall today, decent action. So the stock actually on this day had some news about worldwide lotto. What the fuck? All right, worldwide lottery news of some sorts. I can't remember what the exact news was. LT international lottery, was it? Lottery.com, international lottery of some sort. So big move, short report, not a short float, non-existent. It's a little bit, 5%, but 5% of 6 million float is quite a bit. It's a 16 million company. 16 million market cap company, share float 6 million, and the stock is trading 200 million shares in a day. So yikes. Lots of traps, lots of games being played at the moment. It's going to be very interesting to see what kind of games the small cap stock is going to spring upon people. For sure it could squeeze, right? It could keep going up. This news could be really good news, but it could also be a dilution play, a liquidity play. So if they need to raise money, they could have dropped this news article and then they're going to do a secondary share offering. So watch for that on the news headlines. You might want to filter your news headlines, like if you have Benzinga. If you don't have Benzinga, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Go to linktree.com or link.tree/TraderPrad and click on that Benzinga link right there to get 10% off, and set your filters so you can see if they do an offering tomorrow or somewhere in the next week after they juice the stock a little bit more. Let's actually go to dilution tracker. I can't spell dilution. LTRY. Net cash 0.53. Institutional ownership non-existent. Okay. Even better. So this is exactly what you want to see if you are looking to short this gapper, the gapper crappers, right? 21 million market cap, 27 million EV. What is expected value? What is EV? Enterprise value is calculated as market cap plus long-term debt. Gotcha. News. Let's go take a look at the news. What was the press release? Announces launch of international lottery operations. Receives expected notice from NASDAQ pertaining its 10Q form. Is that the delisting if you're not? Dude, that just makes it even more of a scam. What's the 10K filing? 10Q filing. I know what a 10K is. Um, let's go to AI. Help me, AI. $10Q quarterly report that is publicly traded company. It's not a 10K. Oh, there's the exact same thing. Oh, 10K is filed annually. Oh, okay. Q is quarterly, K is annually. Gotcha. Okay, so they did not do their last quarterly report? Is that what we're seeing right now? They haven't done it in a while. Yeah, I don't know about this one. You might not want to. Okay, what is this one? S1 Chairman addresses effective form S1 registration. What is an S1 form? You might want to be careful looking for a long on this one. That news that they dropped. They're already public though. Plans to go public through initial public offering. They were already public. That's September 30, 2024. Explain. Hello? Thank you. Ta-da! Do I need to say anything else? I don't think I need to say anything else on this name. This just got upgraded as a high priority crapper to look for a mean reversion short tomorrow. High priority name to look for a mean reversion short tomorrow. So let's throw this on the watch list. Watching for a big short op tomorrow. The higher this goes, the more I want it. The only thing I'm gonna hate on this one, however, is the hard to borrow fees. They're probably expensive on this one tomorrow, boy. I'm telling you, it's going to be a nail biter on this one for the price that I'm gonna have to pay. So we'll see how much it costs, and I have some levels mapped out. That is an absolute pocket of liquidity that does not exist. So if the stock does get above 360, expect it to squeeze to 7 and then potentially find some selling from 7. The stock has known activity for all of this garbage, known activity to not report earnings, known activity to get delist notice and then kind of get above $1 and then get back below $1. So yeah, not interested for a long on this one. I think the higher it goes, the more I'm interested for the short side. Lol, I thought might be I actually don't short, but learning about the other side of it has helped me quite a bit. Yes, sir, indeed. I'm very glad that I did the research on this, because just looking from the chart, I'd be like, oh, yeah, that's a little extended, but I know they had some lottery news, so I think I'll look long on the dips. As long as $1, technically, as long as $1 holds, you can look long on the dips. Your stop loss is $1, and every time the stock goes into $1 and holds above $1, that is technically your risk parameters over there. But if you just do a little bit more digging and some deep diving, you can see that the company is absolute bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Okay, ELF, boy oh boy, cannot catch a break. $65. Is that what I just saw? Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy moly. ELF got absolutely smoked today. We haven't even got to the earnings names, man. It's already 10 o'clock. I am not going to get any sleep today. ELF. Already 10 o'clock, chat. ELF. Okay, let's quickly run through these. What did you report? 355, beat estimates of 329. 270 same period last year. That's pretty good. Increased by 31%. Gross margin increased by 71% or 40 basis points. I'm proud of ELF Beauty. Don't care about that. Beauty now sees earnings between 3.27 to 3.23 versus 3.54. That seems to be the problem right there. And revenue in the range of 1.3 to 1.31 versus 1.33. Not too big of a miss on that side. Given softer than expected trends in January, we are taking a prudent approach and lowering our outlook for the final quarter of our fiscal year. Our updated outlook for 2025 reflects an expected 27-28% year-over-year increase in net sales as compared to expected 28 to 30% increase previously. So not that big of a drop, ladies and gentlemen. They're still growing year over year. They're not, losing money. They're not decreasing their reports also by a drastic amount. So if you ask me, that drop is a little drastic. So let's quickly go to Elf Beauty and see what their PE is. This might be a good buy the dip opportunity. 47 PE right now. Potentially you're watching the stock at 30 PE, 25 PE tomorrow at $60. So you're telling me this is not a good dip buy opportunity on a company that's reporting 25% growth year over year? Yeah, they're not going to be growing 33% as they just did, but they're still growing. So a little bit of an overreaction if you ask me. So I'm going to be a little cautious on the short side. Don't get me wrong, that's not going to stop me from looking for the short. For example, DECK was a big short opportunity, but ELF, I'm going to be watching how this one sets up. Not sure if I really want to be hunting for a short. You do have a very similar setup as SWKS on this one, where $70 areas coming into play. The stock could start its day a little bit lower in pre-market and then start holding the after hour low and then make a move back up to the north side also. So I think watching ELF for sure is worthy, and I'm going to actually give it a pretty decent priority tomorrow. I think long bias is all I'm going to put in my notes, because I have to see what happens in pre-market. NET, Cloudflare starting the day off, or the after hour earnings reaction off to the downside first, but then ripping to the north side. So let's quickly go read what NET is going. What's happening with NET over here? Not that. We want this. 459 versus 452, beating 362. Good job. Where's EPS? 19 cents versus 18 cents. Not bad. What was the growth year over year? I mean, you are growing year over year, so that's good, but I would like to see the percentage numbers. We had a strong 2024. I'm proud of the team, and they're using buzzwords like AI. Awesome. That's exactly what I want to see in an earnings report. Cloudflare sees first quarter adjusted earnings of 16 cents. And revenue of 468 to 469. Expects fiscal 2025 to be between 79 cents and 80 cents. That's a very tight range. And a revenue in the range of 2.09 to 2.09. These numbers are so exact. Like, it's actually crazy, so exact to the point. It's like, yo, we know who we are and we know what we're gonna do. It's actually funny how they reported so exact to the point. Let's go take a look at how the stock is doing on the daily chart. Ooh, an all-time high coming into play. Another one. No, not an all-time high. We got, however, 52-week high coming into play. Nice little potential breakout above. It is a breakout because we did see it in the after hours already going higher. So for sure on watch tomorrow. NET potentially on the dips. They are growing year over year, so that's a good thing. And they did use some buzzwords. So it looks like earnings VWAP is around 150. I'll put 150 EVWAP on watch for myself, but the priority on this one is a little bit lower tomorrow, a little bit lower than other earnings stocks. Affirm, another earnings name. Let's go take a look at Affirm's earnings report. Affirm, how did you do? 23 cents per share compared to 16. Whoa, they actually beat. Reported profit of 23 compared to an estimated loss of 16 cents. That's amazing. Let's go. Quarterly revenue 866 versus 807 compared to 591 last year. Yo, that's insane. Okay. Gross merchandise grew 35%. Active consumers grew by 23% year over year to 21 million. Active consumers transaction per active consumer reached to 5.3, up from 4.5 same period last year. Outlook sees at 3.13 to 3.19 billion versus 3.09. Outlook upgraded, and hence the stock up almost 10% off the earnings report. So it looks like Affirm, buy now, pay never later, is making an insane recovery. Imagine buying the stock at $10 because Apple said they were going to jump into the business, and then Apple backed out, and you're laughing straight to the bank. Ha 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 ha. Right, so beautiful long over there from that $8 $10 area if you believed in the gameplay. And look at that move on Affirm right now. As for a day trade, you can see how the stock is a little bit shy up the 52-week high at the moment, but I don't doubt we start testing some of these areas tomorrow. So let's see if the dips actually hold. Last month's high is around $68. I think that area is going to come into play for a good support. I'll also be watching a gap, give, and go setup on this stock. For that, you need the stock to, gap, which it did. It might go a little bit higher in the pre-market, which I wanted to, and then I wanted to pull back, hold above this area, not for too long, around 5 minutes, hold above this area for around 5 minutes, and then blast off to the north side. That's my setup tomorrow. Looking for a long on Affirm. Instead of losing money, they're actually reporting growth and making money. So shout out to Affirm. FTNT, wow, holy smokes. Dip into 100 and a move into 120. Is that a new all-time high? Nice breakout on the daily chart over here. That should be the daily chart, and all-time high also. So nice breakout into a new all-time high, dip into 100, which was the previous all-time high, and then an insane run up. So obviously on watch on this one for sure. This one's also another cloud computing company, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong on this one. Don't quote me. 1.6 billion compared to 1.59 estimates. 74 cents versus 661 cents. 17% growth year over year. Product revenue 18% up. Service revenue 17% up. Billings up by 7.4%. Cash flow blah 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 blah. I want to see the important metrics because I don't have time. Guidance: Fortnite expects Fortinet expects 1.5 to 1.56 versus 1.53 within range. 52 to 54 versus 53 within range. 2025 outlook to be 6.65 to 6.85 versus 2.41 to 2.47. Okay, don't see the expectations, but overall stock clearly blasting off, so very much in play as long as the stock is holding above 100, which I don't think should come into play tomorrow. But as long as the stock is holding above 100 or any of the previous levels on dips, I like the long. Looks like 110 might be an area to keep an eye on, so I'll put that as an inflection level to potentially see how that plays out on a dip if the stock is still playing around this area in pre-market, which I don't think it should. Pinterest also made a run up to the north side. you can see how it's just kind of stuck around over here. I'm not a big believer in Pinterest either, but a daily chart is beautiful. If you look at the daily chart, right, big breakout above the previous resistance. So anyone who's been selling into this area, they're all caught offside now. So now a big breakout, expecting the stock to easily play above this area on any dip. So if the stock is dipping into what, $34 tomorrow from 40 bucks, I'm not really interested in looking short here. I might look for a dip long. In this area, I might be interested in looking for shorts on pops, but in this area, I'm not looking for shorts on the breakdown. So being very careful what I want to do with Pinterest. Nvidia and all other stocks, I'm kind of going to skip these ones. There are some levels that you might want to be interested in. For example, Nvidia above 130, Tesla continuing to stay below 375. You might want to be interested on that one, because if Meta is not able to reclaim 375, that's a pretty bearish chart for Tesla. Meta trying to go above 720. Apple, I'm not sure what Apple is doing. I haven't been looking at Apple really. Apple, not sure I'm interested in Apple, but that is kind of the only few stocks that I care about in the mega cap. Let's go to IVVD. So you see how this one got a little bit of a reject after breaking out. This is what I'm expecting from LTRY. Very similar setup. It goes higher tomorrow into 220 and then slams below 220. If it gets above 220, expect it to struggle around 360, 350. But if it doesn't struggle at 350, then they are really gaming the stock and they're trying to blast it to $7, which will be absolutely insane if you ask me. That's just bonkers. So that is IVVD. Potentially not as high of a priority for me, but still on the watch list. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all she wrote. There is actually a couple things I'm forgetting, but I don't have to talk about these ones because I already talked about them yesterday. I thought the IPO was today, but the IPO is actually tomorrow. So we already talked about these ones. I don't have to talk about them. I think that is the end of the stream. Hopefully you guys found some levels today. I originally was planning to have a shorter stream, end by 9:30, so I can go do some of my homework, but thankfully I don't have to do a lot of journeying because I didn't do a lot of trading, and in that case I can do a lot of trade reviewing. So I'll go do a lot of trade reviewing today. There's no show tomorrow. What do you mean no show? Who's no show? What show? Oh yeah, I don't stream tomorrow. That's right, no show tomorrow. So I wish you guys a happy weekend. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys Monday, but before I send you off, good little stretch, and let's take a look at the economic calendar. This looks a little busy. Econ calendar actually looks a little busy. 8:30 you got average hourly earnings. What the fuck is that? Average hourly earnings, non-farm payrolls, participation rate, payroll benchmark, private non-farm payrolls, U6 unemployment rate, Fed member Bowman. Today a Fed member actually was moving the market a little bit during the midday, so you obviously want to know when Fed members are talking. Fed monetary policy report, 3-star event at 10 o'clock. That's important, okay? Michigan inflation number again, that's the 1 year, that's the 5 year, the consumer confidence numbers, Michigan consumer sentiment, Atlanta GDP Fed number, and then a bunch of garbage numbers that I really don't care about. So tomorrow's econ calendar is actually very busy, ladies and gentlemen, from 8:30 to 10 o'clock. You might want to be careful if you are a futures trader. This is the moment where these numbers could move the market and really sway against you if they don't come out as a big surprise. If they come out as a big surprise, you want to be careful. If they come out in line, sometimes the market won't even react to it and will just beat to the tune of its own drum. So that's also a possibility. If I'm trying to remember, am I forgetting anything? I guess last but not least, do make sure to check out my Linktree page. I'm going to post it in my chats at the moment. Check out my Linktree page. All of my social medias are up top here. YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, Patreon, social, all that fun stuff. However, TikTok is now banned for you guys, I think. Flash research, 10% off. Trade ideas, 15% off by using code PRAD15. Trader Sync, get 15% off by using code PRAD15. And Benzinga Pro, click on that link and get 10% off. I wish you guys a very, very jolly Friday and an even better weekend. I wish you guys an even better weekend. See you guys Monday or on the Sunday if I record the video. I haven't recorded the video for like 2 weeks in a row now because I've been busy, but if I do record the video on the weekend, I will send it up and post it up. Time to head out. TraderPrad out. Peace. For tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm gonna bring in my big screen over here, back to another brand new week of After the After Hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.